My daughter's car seat was empty when I pulled up. The buckle was clicked like she'd vanished mid-breath. My ex-husband's mother stood on the porch with a mug of tea and a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "She's inside," Marlene said. "Stop acting like I kidnapped her." My phone vibrated again, an email from Lily's school. Withdrawal confirmed. My hands went numb on the steering wheel. Marlene lifted her chin. "I told them you were overwhelmed. It's for Lily." I slammed the car door and crossed the yard so fast my sandals slapped the concrete. Marlene didn't move. She waited, like this was a photo op. "Where is she?" I asked. "In the laundry room," she said casually. She needed to calm down. "Why would my child be in a laundry room?" Marlene sipped her tea. "Because she was disrespectful. She needs structure. You don't provide it." I pushed past her and the smell hit me: bleach, old carpet, and that powdery perfume she loved, the kind that settled into walls like ownership. Family photos lined the hallway. My face used to be in them. Now it was gone, like I'd been edited out of my own life. On the side table sat a stack of envelopes addressed to me, already opened. Marlene's idea of privacy was whatever benefited her. "Lily!" I called. No answer. In the kitchen, Gene sat in his motorized chair, hands shaking over a pill organizer. The TV blared a news channel too loud. He looked up, startled, then quickly looked away. "Hi, Ava," he mumbled. "Where is Lily?" I asked him. Softer, because he was sick, and I hated that part of me still cared. Gene's jaw worked. Marlene said it was easier. She said you'd agree. I didn't agree to anything. Gene's fingers fumbled a pill and it rolled to the floor. He stared at it like he didn't know what it was. Then he smiled, suddenly, at my chest. "Pretty," he whispered, and my skin crawled. A thump came from the laundry room. I walked toward it and saw the door cracked open, a thin line of light on the tile. I pushed it wide. Lily sat on the floor, hugging her backpack, cheeks wet, hair sticking to her forehead. Her eyes jumped to mine and she whispered, "Mom." She took my phone. I dropped to my knees and pulled her into my arms. Her body was tense like a trapped bird. "It's okay," I said into her hair. "I've got you." She nodded, but her breathing didn't slow. Marlene leaned on the doorframe, arms crossed, watching like I was a show she'd already paid for. "She was making things up again," she said, saying Grandpa makes her uncomfortable. Lily's fingers dug into my shirt. My stomach flipped. "What did you tell her?" "I told her she can't accuse family," Marlene said. "Gene can't help being affectionate." Gene's chair hummed from the kitchen. "He hadn't moved. He hadn't spoken," Lily whispered. "I said no, and she said I had to." I stood up slowly, keeping my body between Lily and Marlene. "We're leaving." Marlene's smile tightened. "You can't." I blinked. "Try me." She slid a folder across the counter with one finger. "I already did." Inside were papers with Lily's name and my name, printed neat as a threat. Temporary guardianship, emergency petition, a notary stamp, a courthouse seal, and my signature close enough to mine to fool someone who wanted to be fooled. My mouth went dry. "This is forged." Marlene's eyes glittered. "It's filed. That's what matters." Lily tugged my sleeve. "Mom, please," she whispered. "I don't want to stay." "I know," I said, and my voice came out calm in a way that surprised me. I'd learned calm in trauma rooms, where panic doesn't save anyone. I pulled out my phone to call my lawyer. Straight to voicemail. Marlene watched my screen like she could taste my panic. "Nobody can fix this tonight," she said. "So be smart. Leave Lily here. Go rest." Her tone was gentle, almost loving, which made it worse. Like she truly believed I was a broken appliance she could send back to the store. That's when I noticed another document clipped behind the guardianship form: Lily's school transfer request. Approved. Processed. Done. Marlene hadn't just scared me. She'd built a paper cage. I swallowed the urge to scream. I forced my face blank. Fine, I said. Marlene's eyebrows lifted, pleased. I turned to Lily. Sweetheart, go grab your shoes, I said gently. We're going to Aunt Tessa's for a sleepover. Lily's eyes widened with hope. She ran down the hall. Marlene stepped closer. Ava, don't do something stupid. I looked at her. I'm not the one forging court documents, I said quietly. Her smile twitched. Just a crack. That was enough. Lily came back with her sneakers half-tied. I took her hand and walked straight to the door. Marlene didn't grab her. She didn't yell. She just watched us like she was counting down to something. As I buckled Lily and myself, I saw Marlene already dialing a number, her face calm, confident, and I understood. She wasn't calling to apologize. She was calling to make sure I couldn't outrun her. We didn't even reach the freeway. A patrol car slid behind me, then the siren chirped once like a tap on the shoulder. Lily's eyes got big in the rearview mirror. Mom, did I do something? No, I said. You didn't do anything. But my voice shook on the last word, and Lily heard it anyway. I pulled into a gas station because I refused to let Lily watch cops treat her like evidence on the side of the road. The young officer walked up with a tablet and an awkward, polite face. Ma'am, he said, we got a call about custodial interference. From Marlene Carter, I said before he could. My voice sounded too steady, like my body was running on emergency power. He nodded. She says there's a court order, and you removed the child. I handed him my actual custody order with Ethan. Primary physical custody to me. Ethan's visitation limited and structured. It was supposed to be simple. The officer read it, eyebrows lifting. This says the child lives with you. Because she does, I said. Marlene is lying. His partner, older and tired-eyed, walked up and glanced at Lily. Sweetheart, are you okay? Lily nodded, but it was the kind of nod kids do when they're trying not to make an adult angry. The older officer's gaze flicked to me, then to the car seat straps. He'd seen scared kids before. He pulled the younger officer aside. I caught pieces. Verify. Existing order. Don't escalate. When he returned, his voice softened. Ma'am, we're not enforcing grandma paperwork without verification. You're free to go. Relief should have hit me. It didn't. All I felt was the message Marlene had sent. I can pull uniforms into this whenever I want. Lily whispered from the back. Grandma said the police listen to her because she's important. I gripped the steering wheel until my knuckles hurt. She's wrong, I said. And even if people listen, it doesn't make her right. I drove to my sister Tessa's apartment with my hands locked tight on the wheel. Tessa opened the door with flour on her cheek and a baby on her hip. One look at my face and she said, What did she do? She tried to take Lily, I said. Tessa's mouth fell open. Lily slipped past me and clung to Tessa's waist like she'd been holding her breath all day. Tessa set Lily up with cartoons and cocoa, then pulled me into the kitchen. We call your lawyer, she said. I did, I said. Voicemail. Tessa swore under her breath and grabbed my stack of forwarded mail from her counter. I'd been sending important stuff to her since the divorce because Ethan used to accidentally open anything with my name on it. This came yesterday, she said, handing me a thick envelope with a downtown law firm logo. My name was on it. Underneath, in smaller print, was my mother's maiden name like someone had dug it up on purpose. I tore it open and felt my stomach drop. Beneficiary, Lily Morgan. Account value, 7 figures. Release condition. Custodial guardian must be a Carter family member. Tessa stared at the page, then at me. She's doing this for money. I couldn't speak. I kept hearing Marlene's voice. For Lily. For Lily. For Lily. Lily wandered into the kitchen then, rubbing her eyes. Aunt Tessa, she said. Grandma told me you were going to keep me forever if I didn't behave. Tessa's face tightened. Did she say that? Lily nodded. She said my mom is tired of me. She said I'm expensive. I felt heat flood my face. Marlene hadn't just targeted me. She'd been carving little cuts into Lily's sense of safety, one sentence at a time. I knelt and looked Lily in the eyes. Listen to me, I said. Adults say ugly things when they want control. You didn't do anything wrong. You're not a burden. You're my favorite person on earth. Lily's lip trembled. Then she nodded like she was trying to believe me. I called Ethan. He answered like I was interrupting him. Your mom forged guardianship paperwork, I said. She withdrew Lily from school. Why? He sighed. She's worried about Lily. No, I snapped. Why did you let her? Silence. Then he said, Mom said you're unstable lately. The word unstable felt like a slap. Unstable because I work nights at the ER? I hissed. Because I pay for Lily's braces while you forget child support? Ava, did you sign something? I demanded. Another pause. A fraction too long. Mom said it was temporary, he muttered. Just until you calm down. Tessa snatched the phone and spoke in a voice like sugar over glass. If your mother comes near that child again, I'm calling CPS and every reporter I can find. Ethan cursed and hung up. I stared at the trust letter again and suddenly everything made ugly sense. Marlene didn't want to help. She wanted to qualify. My phone buzzed with a court alert. Emergency custody hearing. Set for tomorrow 9 a.m. Then a second alert. School records transferred. Then a third. A new contact request from Lily's school portal. Someone had added Marlene as primary guardian. Tessa gripped my shoulder. We go to court, she said, and we go hard. I swallowed, looking at Lily on the couch, small and quiet and trying to be invisible. Okay, I said. But if Marlene thinks she can buy my daughter with paperwork, she's about to learn what I do when someone tries to take a child from my care. If you're still with me, hit like and subscribe because tomorrow morning in court is where Marlene tries her biggest move yet. And it gets uglier, and as I said it, my phone lit up again with a message from an unknown number. You have until morning to be reasonable. I didn't sleep. I sat at Tessa's kitchen table with my laptop open and coffee going cold, pulling every document I could find like I was building a chart in the ER. At 1:58 a.m., my attorney finally called. Ava, Rachel said, voice sharp. Why am I seeing an emergency filing with a notary stamp from a county 2 hours away? Because Marlene thinks printers are magic, I said. Rachel exhaled. Okay, Lily stays with you. No unsupervised contact with any Carter. Tomorrow we challenge authenticity and ask for immediate protective orders. Protective orders? I repeated. Rachel paused. You said Lily told you Jean makes her uncomfortable. My throat tightened. Yes, then we treat that seriously, Rachel said. We don't minimize because it's family. 8. Morning came too fast. Lily sat at the table in an oversized sweatshirt while Tessa braided her hair. Are we going to the judge? Lily asked quietly. Yes, I said, just to correct a lie. Lily nodded, then whispered. Grandma Marlene said judges don't like moms who work at night. My chest tightened. She told you that? Lily shrugged. She says lots of stuff. She says if I love her, I'll help her fix things. At the courthouse, the hallway smelled like old paper and too much perfume. Marlene was already there in a pale blue suit, smiling like she belonged. Ethan sat beside her, shoulders hunched, eyes glued to his phone. He didn't wave at Lily. He didn't even look up. Lily squeezed my fingers harder. Marlene stood and opened her arms like Lily was supposed to run to her. Sweet girl, she cooed. Lily stepped behind me. Marlene's smile didn't change. Her eyes did. They got smaller. Rachel arrived with a briefcase and calm posture that made Marlene's expression flicker. Rachel wasn't impressed by family theatrics. We went in. Marlene spoke first, of course. She called me erratic, exhausted, emotionally unstable. She said Lily lacks consistency. She called herself a safe anchor. Then she slid the forged documents forward like they were proof of her love. Rachel stood. Your Honor, we contest authenticity. We ask the court to take notice of the existing custody order granting Miss Morgan primary custody, and we request immediate dismissal of this emergency petition. The judge, a tired woman with sharp eyes, flipped through the papers and frowned. Miss Carter, she said. Why is the notary stamp from a different county? Marlene smiled. I travel, she said brightly. And why is the school withdrawal dated before the guardianship? The judge asked. We were being proactive, Marlene said. Proactive isn't legal, the judge replied, flat. Ethan cleared his throat. I just want what's best for my daughter, he said. I stared at him. Then why did you sign anything your mom handed you? I blurted. Rachel's hand touched my arm. Breathe. The judge looked at Ethan. Mr. Carter, did you witness the mother sign these documents? Ethan hesitated. Marlene's fingers tightened on her purse. Ethan swallowed. No. The judge's eyes snapped to Marlene. So you filed guardianship without verified consent. Marlene's voice turned syrupy. We were concerned she'd refuse out of spite. Concern is not consent, the judge said. Relief loosened my chest. Then Marlene stood again. Your Honor, I'd like to submit an additional exhibit. She handed over a folder. Rachel's brow furrowed. What is that? Marlene didn't look at Rachel. She looked at me. A mandatory report, she said. From Lily's teacher. My heart stuttered. The judge read, then lifted her eyes. It says the child reported being left alone at night. That's a lie, I said, too fast. Marlene's lips curved. Is it? Because Lily told me she hears you leave after dark. Lily stiffened beside me. The judge leaned forward. Sweetheart, she said gently. Can you tell me about nights when your mom works? Lily's mouth opened, then closed. She glanced at Marlene, not with love, with fear. Rachel spoke quickly. Your Honor, we request a private interview with the child and an advocate. This is intimidation. The judge nodded. Miss Carter, step into the hallway, now. Marlene's smile froze for 1 second before she pasted it back on. She walked out with heels clicking like a promise. The judge softened her voice. Lily, do you feel safe with your mom? Lily nodded hard. Yes. Do you feel safe at Grandma Marlene's house? Lily hesitated, staring at the door like it might open. Sometimes, she whispered. Sometimes when? The judge asked. Lily's hands twisted in her lap. When Grandpa Jean is asleep, my vision tunneled. Rachel's voice went gentle. Lily, what happens when he's awake? Lily swallowed. He gets confused, she whispered. He hugs too tight. Grandma says I have to let him because he's family. The judge's jaw tightened. And when you say no? Lily's chin trembled. Grandma says I'm dramatic. She says I'm trying to ruin him. Rachel stood. Your Honor, we request immediate protective orders restricting unsupervised contact with Miss Carter and Mr. Carter's household pending investigation. The judge didn't hesitate. Granted. Marlene came back in smiling, like she'd already won. The judge looked at her. Your emergency petition is dismissed, she said. A protective order is issued. No unsupervised contact with the child. Marlene blinked. That's outrageous. It's necessary, the judge replied. We walked out with papers in hand. Lily pressed to my side. Tessa furious and shaking. But my relief lasted exactly until we reached my front door. Because it was cracked open, and the air inside smelled like Marlene's perfume, my stomach dropped before my feet even moved. I pushed the door wider and saw a trash bag in the hallway, half full, like someone had started packing my life. Lily's stuffed bunny sat on top, ears bent, like a warning. Tessa pulled Lily behind her and whispered, Call 911. Rachel, still on speaker, said, "Do not go farther." I went anyway because my brain had one thought. Lily's room. Her closet was open. Hangers swung slowly like they'd been touched minutes ago. Her small suitcase was gone, and on her bed was a pink note, written in tidy cursive. "Court isn't the only place decisions get made." Lily's voice shook. "Mom, are we leaving?" I crouched and pulled her close. "Not unless it's our choice," I said. Then I saw the second thing Marlene left. A little plastic bracelet from the hospital gift shop, the kind they put on newborns. It had Lily's name on it. She'd dug through my keepsakes. She'd touched the first day of my daughter's life. I carried that bracelet to the kitchen sink and scrubbed my hands like I could wash off the fact that she'd been in my home. Lily hovered near the doorway. "Is Grandma coming back?" she asked. "Not if I can help it," I said. She swallowed. "If she comes, do I have to hug Grandpa?" "No," I said, firm. "You never have to hug anyone. Not family, not friends, not anybody." Lily blinked hard, like she'd been waiting her whole life to hear that sentence. While we waited for the police, Tessa swept the house with a baseball bat she kept for delivery guys who get too curious. Every drawer Marlene touched felt slightly off, like things were in the wrong order on purpose. My medicine cabinet was open. My work schedule calendar had been flipped to next month, and the sticky note on the fridge that said Lily's allergy. Kiwi was gone. That tiny detail hit me harder than the missing suitcase. Someone removing an allergy note isn't a mistake. It's a decision. The police arrived and took a report. They used the word civil like a shield. "Does your ex have a key?" one asked. "He did," I said. "He shouldn't anymore." They looked around, wrote notes, promised follow-up, and left calm and slow. Like danger waits politely, Tessa locked the door behind them and turned to me. "She was here," she said. "She knows your routine." I stared at the pink note until my eyes burned. "She's escalating," I whispered. Rachel came over after her next hearing and dropped a thick file on the table. "I pulled older Carter court records," she said. Her voice sounded tight. "There's a sealed case from years ago," she continued. "A child was removed from their care. The file notes, failure to protect, and boundary violations." My skin went cold. "So they've done this before," Rachel nodded. "And they learned how to dress it up as concern." Tessa's hands shook as she changed the locks herself. "I don't care if it's legal," she muttered. "I care if she comes back." Rachel didn't argue. She just said, "Keep the old lock cylinder. Evidence matters." My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. A photo loaded. Lily's school picture. Across the bottom, on a sticky note, were 3 words. Wrong last name. A second message followed. "Meet me tomorrow. Alone. Bring the trust letter." Then a third. A pin drop on a map. A highway diner. Tessa's face went hard. "Absolutely not." Rachel's voice went sharp. "No. We control the meeting if it happens." I stared at Lily, curled on the couch with her bunny, trying to disappear into the cushions. Marlene wasn't just fighting for money. She was trying to rewrite who Lily belonged to. I lifted my chin. "Fine," I said. "I'll meet her." Tessa's eyes widened. "Ava." "Not the way she thinks," I added. "If she wants to play paperwork games, I'm going to make her say the quiet parts out loud." Rachel nodded once. "Good," she said. "We'll bring a witness, and we'll record." That night, Lily crawled into bed with me without asking. Her voice was tiny. "Am I a Carter?" I held her tighter. "You're Lily," I said. "That's enough." But I lay awake wondering why Marlene cared so much about last names, and what she'd do next when the judge said no. Part 5. At dawn, I dropped Lily with Tessa at the hospital staff lounge, so she'd be surrounded by people who knew my name and would not hand my child over to a smile. I knelt in front of Lily. "You don't leave with anyone," I said. Not Grandma. Not Dad. Nobody. Lily nodded. Serious. Only you. Or Aunt Tessa. Exactly, I said, kissing her forehead. And if anyone says I'm in trouble, you call Tessa's phone and my phone. Both. Rachel had arranged an investigator named Darius, quiet, broad-shouldered, the kind of man who watches exits without looking like he's watching exits. She picked a diner off the highway, he said. Public, familiar. Public doesn't mean safe, I said. He nodded. We'll be close. Before we went, Tessa pushed one more idea. Mr. Patel across the street has a doorbell camera, she said. If Marlene came in, we'll see it. We ran across the street and asked. Mr. Patel didn't hesitate. He pulled up the footage. At 4:37 p.m., a silver sedan rolled up. Marlene stepped out like she was arriving at brunch. Then Ethan climbed out of the driver's seat. My throat tightened. He walked to my door, pulled out a key, and let her in. Not a break-in, an invitation. 5 minutes later, Marlene walked back out holding a trash bag. Then she returned, carrying a small metal box from my closet. My lockbox. Tessa's face went white. She has Lily's documents, she whispered. Rachel's voice, on speaker, went razor sharp. That means she can file anything, she said. Anything. Name change, passport request, new school, everything. I felt sick. My phone buzzed with another text. Bring the trust letter. Bring what's mine. I looked at the video again. Ethan held the door open for his mother like a loyal son. He wasn't crying. He wasn't resisting. He was helping. On the drive to the diner, Darius sat 2 cars back, and Rachel followed in hers. I walked in alone like Marlene demanded. But I wasn't alone. Not really. Marlene sat in the corner booth with Ethan beside her. She smiled when she saw me. Good, she said. You came. Ethan stared at the table like it could rescue him. Where is my lockbox? I asked, sliding into the seat across from her. Safe, Marlene said. And Lily? I asked, watching her face closely. Marlene's smile sharpened. Not with me. I'm not stupid. That confirmed it. This was coercion, not a snatch today. Marlene slid a document across the table with a pen clipped to it like a bank. Sign, she said. Temporary transfer of custody. For Lily's stability. And the trust? I asked. Marlene's eyes glinted. For Lily's future, she corrected. We'll manage it responsibly, Ethan muttered. Just do it, Ava. I stared at him. You let her into my house. He flinched but stayed silent. I took a slow breath. Why are you doing this? I asked Marlene. She tilted her head. Because Lily needs her people, she said softly. She's a Carter. No, I said. She's a child. Marlene's voice stayed smooth. And children need legacy. Her hand drifted toward her purse, and I saw the corner of a sealed envelope inside, thick, official-looking, something new. Something she couldn't wait to use. Marlene finally pulled the sealed envelope out and set it on the table without opening it, like a loaded gun she didn't need to fire yet. What's that? I asked. Her smile went slow. Insurance, she said. Ethan swallowed hard and rubbed his hands together under the table. That was new. Fear. Real fear. Marlene tapped the envelope once. If you make me look bad in court, she murmured, I make you look worse. I kept my face calm, but inside my stomach twisted, because I knew exactly what kind of worse she meant. Accusations that stick to mothers forever, even when they're lies. I nodded slowly, like I was considering it. Then I said, Okay, I'll sign. After you return my lockbox and admit you filed forged paperwork. Marlene's eyes narrowed. Don't be cute. I'm not, I said. You wanted quiet. This is quiet. Give me my box. Then we talk. Marlene stared, calculating. Then she tapped Ethan's arm. Go get it, she said. Ethan hesitated. Now? Now, she repeated, sweet as poison. Ethan stood and walked out. Marlene leaned in and whispered, "Once you sign, everything gets easier." And I realized she meant easier for her, not for Lily. Ethan came back with my lockbox cradled like it weighed 100 pounds. He set it on the table. Marlene opened it with a key from her ring like she'd done it before. She slid Lily's documents toward me, then my own. "Happy?" she asked. I didn't answer. My hands were steady now, the way they get right before I start an IV on a screaming toddler. Focus. Do the job. Ignore the noise. I stood and picked up the lockbox. Marlene's voice sharpened. "Sit down." "No," I said. Ethan's voice cracked. "Ava, please." "Please what?" I snapped. "Please let your mother erase me?" Darius rose from 2 booths away and walked over, badge visible. "Marlene Carter?" he said calmly. "You're being recorded. Please stay seated." Marlene's face flashed white. "Who is that?" I held up my phone. "A witness," I said. Marlene's eyes went wild. "You set me up." "You set yourself up," I said. "You just couldn't stop talking." Then I added, loud enough for the microphone to catch it. "You forged my signature. You withdrew my child from school. You took my documents." Ethan's face drained. "Mom, you said this was just paperwork," he whispered. Marlene didn't look at him. "It is," she said. "Paper controls lives." Ethan turned to me, eyes wet, like he wanted me to rescue him from the mess he helped create. I didn't. I just said, "Tell them the truth, Ethan. For once." His mouth opened, closed. Then he finally spoke to the officers. "She told me to use my old key," he said, voice cracking. "She said it was for Lily." Marlene snapped her head toward him. "Shut up!" Ethan flinched like she'd hit him. The officer's pen stopped. "Sir," he said, "did you assist her in taking documents from the residence?" Ethan nodded, barely. "Yes." That single word felt like a dam breaking. Rachel walked in with 2 uniformed officers behind her. She didn't look at Marlene first. She looked at me. "Do you have the lockbox?" she asked. I lifted it. "Yes." Rachel turned to the officers. "We have recorded admissions of fraudulent filings, unlawful possession of personal documents, and interference with school records," she said, "plus doorbell footage of entry using a key." Marlene tried to laugh. "This is a misunderstanding." Rachel's voice was ice. "It's a pattern." The officers asked Marlene to stand. She hesitated, then stood stiffly, shooting me a look that promised revenge. "But promises only work when you still have power." Ethan whispered, "Mom, stop." Marlene whipped toward him. "You're useless," she hissed. Then she turned back to me. "You're destroying this family." I leaned in, close enough for her to hear me under the diner noise. "No," I said. "I'm protecting my daughter from people who think family means she can't say no." Marlene's face went blank for a beat. Then she forced a smile again. "Anything for Lily," she said, trying to reclaim the line. Rachel didn't blink. "Anything except respecting her boundaries," she replied. Outside, Rachel squeezed my shoulder. "We file sanctions. We push supervised contact only. And we report Jean's behavior and Marlene's coercion," she said. "And the trust?" I asked. Rachel's jaw set. "We challenge the clause," she said. "It's designed to coerce custody. It won't be quick, but it won't be hers." Rachel walked me through the next steps in the parking lot like she was handing me a map out of a fire. No contact. No family meetings. Everything through counsel. "And Ava," she said, "change every password. School portals, medical portals, bank logins. She's already proven she'll use any door that isn't locked." I nodded. staring at the diner's neon sign flickering like it was embarrassed. For the first time in days, I felt something besides fear. Anger. Clean, focused anger. The kind that keeps mothers awake and keeps children alive. Back at the hospital, Lily ran into my arms so hard it knocked the air out of me. "Did I do something bad?" she whispered. I knelt and held her face in my hands. "No," I said. "You did something brave. You told the truth." Lily's eyes filled. "Grandma said I shouldn't." "I know," I said. "And she was wrong." That night, Lily slept curled against me like she was afraid of distance. I stared at the ceiling and thought about Marlene's calm smile, the way she called it love while she tried to buy my child. She truly believed she was the hero. That paperwork could replace a mother, that a trust fund mattered more than an 8-year-old whispering no. Here's what I want to know from you, because this is the question that split my own family in half. If someone you love tried to take your child for her own good, would you cut them off forever, even if it blew up the whole family? Comment yes or no and tell me where you'd draw the line.